welcome to UK Casuals. Today we have Stuart Wolfenden. You may recognise him from his role in Deadman Shoes as Herbie. I believe you were the first character to be seen and the last character to get stabbed up.
Yeah.
You've also had roles in Hollyoaks as Steve's abusive father. And you was also in Coronation Street as well.
I was, mate, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pleasure, mate. It really is a pleasure to get you on my channel. So the first question, Stuart, really is, how did you become involved in the film Deadman Shoes?
I heard that, going back to 2003, this was, mate. So I heard through my agent that Shane was casting for a new film. And he'd worked on one of Shane's films before, so I knew Shane. And strangely enough, the week before, I auditioned for Danny Boyle for the film Millions. Didn't get that. And then the week after, got invited to go and meet Shane in Manchester at Granada TV. And he must have seen every Manchester actor under the sun. There was loads of us there. Some Liverpool actors, northern-based actors, really.
Yeah.
And then he started to whittle down, and we ended up going down to Matlock where it was filmed. And he started to put the lads together, and that was it, mate. 2003 we filmed it, and it came out 2004, and the rest is history, as they say.
Okay, Stuart. So, if you would like to remind us of your name's character and the plot.
It's Herbie, innit?
Herbie, innit? Yeah.
Herbie, innit? Yeah, it's Herbie, man. It's Herbie. Basically, I mean, the premise was when we first got the kind of scripts to read and stuff, the premise was kind of a revenge film, very much like a Western, really, kind of old-fashioned kind of spaghetti Western, where this guy comes back to town to seek revenge for the misdoings kind of thing to his brother and stuff, you know, and he comes back to town and it's pretty much the shithole it was when he left and joined the army. That was the kind of premise, really, mate. And because Shane improvises a lot, things started to develop and change as we filmed. I think it was about 3.5 weeks we filmed, something like that, maybe 4 weeks. And things started to change, and he'd try some things and go in a different direction. My character, Herbie, was going to be originally the first one to die.
All right.
But I think he really liked what I was doing with it, and he liked the kind of comedy with it as well, even though it's a very dark film. He liked the comedy stuff, and he found it both Paddy and, because Paddy and Shane wrote the script, both Paddy and Shane really started to piss themselves, find it really funny that it was kind of me that just kept seeing Paddy. None of the others were seeing him. You know, I was seeing elephants and all that kind of stuff. So they decided that it was funny to leave him to the last, you know, so that's how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really interesting film. I didn't get that his brother was dead.
No, I don't think it. I only ever met one person that said they got it pretty soon. But
right, a brilliant twist. And when Paddy was going around doing what he was doing, I thought, hang on a minute, this bloke's a bit out of order. Your personal opinion, do you think the gang or the little firm, they actually got what they deserved?
Difficult one, mate, really is. I mean, does anybody deserve to die, really? You know, it's that. But I mean, you saw glimpses of the kind of abuse that, I mean, we was a lot older, bullies. No, nobody deserves to die, of course not, mate. But he took it that far. But you know, it's Paddy's character, Richard. He'd, you know, gone such a dark place. Once he started, that was it, isn't it? You know, it's you know, we've heard of these cases, haven't we? That, you know, people have kind of, what's that great American film with Michael Douglas, Falling Down? Oh yeah, seemingly kind of nice enough kind of guy who's just having a bad kind of time, and he's just had too much. You know, we don't know the background of what Paddy's been through. We know he's been in the army. Now, what hell he's been through. He's come back to hear that his brother was tormented and tortured and ended up, I mean, the thing is as well, you see at the end where he hung himself, but did he hang himself? Did he do that? It's, there's always that question as well. Did he hang himself, or were we involved? Nobody kind of knows. That's left as well. So, yeah, it's a difficult one, mate. No, nobody deserves to die, kind of thing. But how could you? You couldn't let that. You couldn't let that lie, could you? You'd seek revenge.
If it was your brother, no.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's. God forbid anything happens to my children, mate. It's who knows what you do. We're all capable
of. Yeah,
it's exactly what you're capable of, and I think that's the believable thing because it wasn't American kind of stylized. It's not your kind of Guy Ritchie kind of guns shooting and this kind of stuff. Oddly enough, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels came out at the same time as 2004, and I've said this before, and it's such a great film, but I think that is dated, whereas I don't think it's dated because it's very normal. It's just set in a normal kind of town, normal guys. It could have been made yesterday, it could have been made last year. I don't think it's dated at all, really.
You're just small-time criminals doing what you need to do.
Goes on all the time, doesn't it, in towns and stuff, yeah.
There's been a lot of iconic images from the film, and a lot of the iconic images is Paddy in his gas mask, which I think you described in the film is there's some fucking elephant guy outside or something, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Elephant Man, with massive eyes,
that's been used to advertise a lot of football stuff. And the reason I wanted to get you on today is because we are a football channel, but the film Deadman Shoes is such a cult film that I don't know any football lad that doesn't like the film. I just think, like you said, was it made 2012?
No, 2004, 2003, mate. It came out 2004. It's
even longer than I thought. But like you said,
2 years' time, it'll be 20 years since we made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's God, that makes you feel
like
old.
You said, it's not dated. It's not dated, has it? It's still relevant now, and it's still. But people still come to it. I think it's coming up on telly over Christmas. I think next couple of weeks it's on Film 4 again, and it's amazing when people have just seen it. Because Shane only did such a small cinema release. I think it was his intention to kind of let this thing grow, and maybe that's why it's become this kind of cult film, Matty. That it was only we premiered in Edinburgh, the Edinburgh Film Festival, and then I think you could only see it at the Corner House in Manchester Northern. There was only a selection of cinemas that shown it at the beginning, so it didn't do much at the cinemas at all. And then it literally has become this word of mouth kind of. Have you seen this film? Have you seen? And we're all so flattered. I mean, I talked to Paddy not long ago, and all the things Paddy's done and Hollywood and everything. Everybody wants to talk to him about Deadman Shoes,
Yeah, they still. I
think Shane's the same. I think even with the success of This Is England and stuff like that, I'm sure he gets more questions about Deadman Shoes than anything.
I would have thought so. Just the last question about Deadman Shoes. There was a split second where I thought he was going to let Herbie off.
Yeah,
just a split second. And then he went, was that no for me? And you went, yeah, mate. And then I thought, he's fucked. But such a fantastic film. Like you said, hasn't dated, has a massive cult following among football lads. Okay, so we'll go on to you, the person, Stuart. Okay, who's your football team, mate?
I'm a Red Man U, mate, born and bred.
You're a Man United supporter. So obviously there's been a lot going on at your club at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you believe Ollie should have gone?
Yeah, I do, mate. To be fair, he's a club legend, mate, and he's left it in a far better place, mate. I mean, the rumours were going around before he got there and stuff, that some of the stuff that was going on, and there was a lot of unhappiness and stuff. So we applaud him for that, mate. But he's just, we needed some new ideas and new fresh things. It was, especially when Ronaldo came, it was, the stuff was, it wasn't right and stuff. But it is, He's done remarkably well. I like this new guy. I think give him a go and see what he's doing and stuff. But you can see already that he's more knowledge. I mean, that said, it's such. I mean, managers these days, you know, it's not your 70s, 80s. The tacticians, aren't they? It's a total different game, mate, than the 70s and 80s. Even Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson, now the genius that he was, would he be as credible now if he was? People are of the time, aren't they? And nowadays, especially with a lot of the guys at Liverpool and City and stuff like that, these tacticians, these young kind of dynamic kind of managers have come in, and it's a new breed and a new game, mate. So I think Hollywood's kind of old school, but he's certainly put the spark back to United and the people and the fans and stuff like that. And he's not done any harm, mate, and he'll always be remembered as a hero. Of course he will. Yeah. But it was time to move on. Yeah.
Well, many people forget that Fergie didn't, you know, he wasn't a great success at the start. I mean, there was calls for him to go.
Absolutely, mate. And here's a bit of trivia for you. I went to a comprehensive school in Oldham, North Chad, and in my class at school was Mark Robbins, who saved Alex Ferguson. Yeah, who saved Alex Ferguson's career, mate. Yeah. You know, so he was having a run about it and stuff. And Mark wasn't the best player at our school, to be fair. There was a couple of lads that were better than him, but his dad was connected to England or something, and he kind of got picked up from school. And then legendary was 86 or something, 80 or something, 87 or something, 88 that he kind of saved Fergie's career. And apparently the rumours that he was going to be going, wasn't he, Fergie? And then he got that goal.
Yeah.
So and Mark's gone on to be a manager and stuff all over the country and that. But yeah, that's it. I mean, would Alex Ferguson? You know, he's old school, isn't he? It's a different, like I said, it's a different generation now, mate. The footballers are different, mate, aren't they? I mean, a lot of it is frustration. I mean, the fact everybody goes down a lot more now. That's the bad side of the game and stuff. But people play for cards and stuff, and it's a different game now. Totally different game.
No, this you've said it's a different game, and that's an interesting point, Stuart, that I would like to take you on to, is that I normally interview ex-football hooligans or people with clothing brands. So how and they've wrote books and stuff and all the rest of it. How do you feel about modern football?
I love it, mate. I do enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. I've not been for a long time, to be fair, mate. And I've got a young. I watched a lot of the Germany stuff, mate. To be fair, and I love what they've got. You know, the kind of fan. I mean, it is expensive now and stuff. I certainly wouldn't be taking my lad every week and stuff like that, mate. It's very expensive, especially for Manchester United and stuff. There's a lot of maybe there is too much money in the game. I don't know. I still do. My little boy plays local football. I like the grassroots football and stuff. And I used to play as a kid, mate. I was kind of grassroots football and stuff. Yeah. I still enjoy watching, mate. I don't go and as much as, I mean, I've got some tickets. I've got mates who are United and stuff. Now and again, they say, Stu, got a spare ticket here, mate. You fancy it? I said, yeah, of course I will. But I watch a lot of the German stuff and I like what they're doing over there. You know, the kind of more family stuff. It's more family orientated in Germany, isn't it? It's not so bad. You still got idiots, mate. You still got idiots in all walks of life. You know what I mean? So, but no, I'm not bitching. I've got no problems with football, mate. I literally watch football games every day, mate. I've got BT Sports downstairs, and I've been watching some of the European games today, mate.
Oh, right. So a proper armchair fan. I think in Germany, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's not as expensive.
It isn't expensive. No, it's not at all, mate. No, it's kind of regulated that it keep. And that's why they've got the following they have, haven't they? I mean, every game is kind of full. There's families there, there's guys with, you know, mums and dads and kids and all that kind of stuff. It's there's been a lot of bad stuff going on in France at the moment. They need to sort that kind of stuff out, don't they? That's kind of rearing up its ugly head again. But yeah, I think the Bundesliga is a great model, mate. I think the Bundesliga is definitely a great model.
Yeah. This is sort of an ad hoc question. Okay. I can see in the background there's some Adidas trainers. Some very nice pairs. Are you into that clobber?
I'm into my trainers, mate. Yeah, definitely. I've got some. I'll tell you which ones you'll like. I have these, mate. Have you seen them ones? Deadman Shoes
Oh, no, I have not. No, yeah, yeah. His first line in, yeah, you cunt. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
They're
that's fantastic.
my favourite ones, mate. The old SL76s.
Yeah, no,
They're my favourites. Yeah, I like my Adidas trainers, I must admit.
so you would say your favourite pair are your SLs?
SL76. Yeah, I've got 72s, but the 76 are Starsky Hutchins. They're my favourite, mate. Yeah.
They're your
They're a
first.
bit knackered now, like, but
Yeah. Okay, Stuart. You was also in Hollyoaks and in Coronation Street. What's the present for Stuart at the moment? Then, is there any roles coming up? Are you involved in?
yeah, I've just been in Emmerdale, mate. I feel only just a couple of weeks ago. There's a new character in Emmerdale called Lyndon. And fingers crossed, there's going to be hopefully some future with that. We're going to see where it happens. There's a character called Chloe in Emmerdale at the moment, and her dad is a gangster and is in prison at the moment. So I'm kind of his right-hand man that came out to check what was going on in the village and stuff like that. I was only on a couple of weeks ago. So I think there's thought that if this character comes out of prison, I believe that he's not been cast yet. And if he gets cast, there's rumours that it may be something next year. So who knows, mate? Who knows? It's it's always kind of quiet this time of the year, and then New Year things start.
Yeah. Of course they do. I mean, it's like people do. Obviously, using the film Deadman Shoes, people are going to know you for that. But obviously, you've done a lot of other stuff. Is there other things that people that wouldn't probably say, oh, they remembered you for, or it was a long time ago, or anything?
I've been doing it since I was a kid, mate. I mean, I've been on telly since I was about 14. So, football program when I was a kid, Josse's Giants, way before your time, Matthew. I'm sure.
No, no, not at all. I absolutely
was in Josse's Giants as a kid.
It was the Geordie lot, wasn't it?
That's it, mate. Yeah, it was filmed in Manchester, BBC Manchester. That, yeah.
And you were in that.
I was in that, mate. Yeah, I did kids TV as a kid, and then I did Sean Bean's very first kind of TV film, I think, called My Kingdom for a Horse in 1986. And then I did a series called Making Out in Manchester. And then Corrie came when I was 19. And then, I've been doing it ever since, really, mate. It's a lot of soaps, a few films. I was in The Name of the Father with Daniel Day-Lewis. So I've always been a jobbing actor, and I've always done music as well, mate. I've always done the both. But I've done it since I was a kid, mate. I started at school, and I got into it from school. Got into a local kind of theatre group, Oldham Theatre Workshop, and it went from there. But I was lucky as a kid. I had a child equity card, so I used to get quite a bit of TV when I was younger. And that's, I think, how Corrie came, because I was known in Manchester. I'd done a few series. I've worked for the BBC, and then your kind of name gets banded around. And then I was brought in for Coronation Street, because I'd been a paper boy as well when I was 16. 15. I was still at school when I first appeared in Corrie. So I had a nice crapper coat on then.
Josse's Giants. Oh, yeah. legend of a film. So, okay, Stuart, you're a young lad.
I am. Thanks for that, Matty.
You were a young lad.
Sorry. Oh, thanks, mate.
I'm not trying to flatter you. That
I was liking you then, I don't know.
Sorry. So you were a young lad in the north, and then you decided to go into acting. Was that a popular decision amongst your pals and that?
Well, it was a weird thing at school. I was doing drama at school. I was getting noticed at school. And like I said, I was in school when I first appeared on television. So I was quite popular between like 14, 15. I was quite popular in school because I started to appear on TV. And I remember I wasn't very academic at all. I really did know that I was going to be an actor. I really did. I decided at quite a young age, because I was connected with theatre as well. And it was just a passion, and I wanted to do it. It wasn't for fame or money or anything. It's just something I felt like I was good at. So I thought, oh, this is my thing. I'm good at this, and I enjoyed being different characters and stuff like that. So I did start at a young age, like I said, the TV thing. So I thought that was nice as a 15-year-old lad getting some attention at school and stuff. and it was nice to be around older people. And I remember some of the teachers, because their exams were coming up, and a lot of them were kind of, no, you want to concentrate on your exams, Stu, and acting, and I understood that. But there was one or two that kind of said, hey, listen, there's not many kids leaving school knowing exactly what they want to do. You know what you want to do, go for it. So I did. And I've kind of not looked back, mate. I've always done it. You know, I've always done that.
That's no, that's great, because I personally thought that it wouldn't have been that much of a popular decision.
Yeah, I mean, would I like my kids to go into it? I don't know, mate. I mean, I've had some ups and downs. I've done some wonderful things, and I've had a lot of time. I mean, jobbing actors, you spend a lot of time being unemployed. That's why I've always kind of done the music. You know, I've always had the music as well. I gig in pubs at weekends and stuff like that. I've always had. I think you've got to have something else, unless you're in a soap regular, or unless you're somebody like Paddy or Stephen Graham that's kind of up that level where you're constantly getting asked to work and work and work. You know, there's a lot of us underneath that level that are jobbing all the time. You know, and that's the business, really. You've got to have skin of a rhino, Matty. You really have, and you've got to, yeah.
Well, my dad is a musician, and he gigs a lot and stuff. So he's going to enjoy this part of the interview. Let's talk a bit about your music, mate. What do you play? And
I'm just a singer, mate. I just sing.
Oh, so does my dad. My dad sings that. And what sort of style is it?
Well, I had an album out last year, mate. I've always sung in pubs the last 25, 30 years. I've kind of done covers. But when I came out in Corrie in 92, I wanted to pursue the music, really. And I set up a record label with my manager at the time. We had a load of original songs and stuff. And we started to record an album. We released the record. And then the guy who put all the money up, he got a bit of cold feet and he started to fizzle out. So a couple of years ago, an old friend of mine, we got together. He knew I wanted to do an original album. He had a load of songs. I had a couple of ideas of songs. And we got together and recorded it in Lisa Stansfield's studio here in Rochdale. And we released it, mate. It's if you go to stuartwolfenden.com, the album's on there. There's some videos on YouTube.
We'll put
and it's an original album, yeah. It's some great songs and stuff. And going forward next year, mate, I'm working with a new guitarist at the moment. Me and Darren have separated, gone separate ways, as you do. I'm working with another lad. And I'm looking to do some more kind of live gigs next year as well, mate. So I'll always sing, I'll always act, mate. That's me.
That's just you.
That's just me, mate. Yeah.
You've mentioned YouTube, and I noticed you were quite new to Twitter, wasn't you? A few months ago.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
Yeah. How do you feel about the social media? It's a funny animal, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of love them. Oh, thanks, mate. I love it. Thank you. Just got a cup of tea off the wife there, mate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you've got it made.
Sorry, mate. It's a love-hate relationship, really, mate. I mean, I was on Instagram and Facebook and all that as well, and I decided to delete them a while ago, and I've stuck with Twitter. Kind of, shall I stick with it? But it's at the moment, I mean, Twitter's okay. And it is a love-hate relationship. I'd rather not have anything at all, to be fair, mate. But I wouldn't have met you, and there's some great connections and stuff, and it is the way of the world now. So I take time out when I need to take time. I mean, recently with what's going on, I kind of get a bit political now and again. You can't help. I wouldn't say I'm a political person, Matty, but, you know, with the two kids coming into the world, and this shower of shit kind of thing that's going on and stuff, you can't help it, mate. I'm a human being. I'm a father first before anything, mate. So you can't help it. And you see a lot of this negativity, and you do get drawn into it and stuff. And now and again, I have to take time out. I've recently just took time out. I thought, no, I'll switch it off for a little bit, and I'll just check on my messages, and I'll just, you know, I don't want to look at it for a couple of days and stuff, or maybe a week or so. And yeah, you have to do that for your own sanity, really, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely, mate. Absolutely. There's
so,
wonderful people on. Go on, mate.
We'll end up on a very current topic, which is COVID. What side of the wall do you stand on then? do you think we should go into another lockdown? Do you think this is control, or it's a hard one for me?
Yeah, it's I don't believe. I don't. Careful what I say there. No, it's. I don't trust a lot of it, mate.
No.
I know people have had COVID. That we've had COVID. No more lockdowns, mate. It's something we've got to live with, get on with. I've just spent the last 2 years, and this is not pity party. I mean, I lost all my work. I lost all the singing.
Yeah.
I've got friends in the hospitality industry, and you know, it's a scary time again, and it's Christmas time again. They seem to do this every Christmas time when it's, you know, when it's the biggest time of year for us, a lot of stuff. No, when I say I don't trust this government as far as I could throw, mate. I can't stand any of them, not a one of them.
No, that's true.
You know, I can't, that's putting it mildly. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. But there's a bigger picture as well, mate. It's not just about them, is it? It's not just certainly about Boris Johnson. It's not just about him. It's about a lot of them. No, I'm very kind of. I'm a fair person, mate. I won't say people like to label you, call you left or right or whatever.
Yeah.
You can call me whatever you want. I'm not interested. I'm a human being and I'm a father, and I know the difference between right and wrong, and that's it, mate. I'll leave it at that. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I say, Stuart. I think I put a comment down the other day on somebody's Twitter or Facebook. I said, no one is truly left or right. We are a mix of everything. And that's just the way it is. Oh, you're frozen. Okay.
You're back now. You're back now.
Oh yeah, well, you're back. Right, I'm back in. Okay, Stuart. It's been really interesting, mate.
And you,
to talk
what's
to you.
Your feeling? What's your take on it, Matty?
What, on COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID to me is, again, I do believe it exists.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course it does.
I do believe that it can be harmful to people, but I only think that it's a certain amount that maybe have chest problems already, or you know, I've got a partner that's a real bad asthmatic, so if she gets COVID, I'd be really frightened for her.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I do believe
with the lockdowns, and do the masks even work? I don't know. I've not got pure faith in and all that, and I read stuff, and the problem with social media is you see so much science and pseudoscience out there that you don't know what to believe.
I know. You know? I think with anything, mate, you've got to do kind of your own research, and I think also you've got to listen to your heart and your gut. You know, we all know when something's not quite right, and it's like yourself, your body, like you said. You know what I mean? You know when something's not quite right. And, you know, we've got to take responsibilities for ourselves, haven't we? We've got to look after ourselves as best as we can. But, yeah, I mean, I know people have had it. Like I said, we've had it. A good friend of mine had to stay away because he had breathing difficulties and stuff, and he had to stay away from a while. And you've got to do what you've got to do. You know what I mean? It's out there.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had it as far as I know.
Yeah.
But like you say, staying away from family, and it's hard, isn't it? But like you say, you just got to go with your gut, and
mate, and do what feels right. I mean, I've got my mum's elderly; she's 83, but I continue to see my mum. There was no way I wasn't seeing my mum because my sister lives in Dublin, so the only family she had is me. So you know, and that was her choice as well. And she's an ex-nurse, and she carried on. She had it. She's had her injections and stuff like that. But I made sure that we kept the contacts and saw her during lockdown, mate, because I think
it's important.
Yeah, I mean, see some heartbreaking stories here. People who didn't see the family members. I can't imagine what pain they've gone through, mate. I wouldn't like to go through that. Yeah,
I mean, they're a very good friend of mine, Chelsea legend and author Martin King, has recently passed away, and his funeral is tomorrow, and the people that are going have to wear masks. So again, it affects everything across the planet, doesn't it? It's not just you've got to wear a mask to go into a shop. It's it's just affecting everything. And like you said, Stuart, I think it's something we've just got to learn to live with and just get on with it.
I think so. I mean, I think the scientists are really saying that, aren't they? We've got to do, because what is the alternative? What is the alternative? I mean,
staying indoors for the rest of your life.
There's 12 men a day kill themselves, mate, in suicide. You know what I mean? It's, you know what I mean? And there's been people who've gone under this lockdown and stuff like that, mate. You know what I mean? We need to talk about. It's not just COVID. We have to talk about everything, don't we? It's
mental health.
I think we've got to look at the big picture, and you know what I mean. Look after everybody, and take in consideration everybody and how it's affecting not just health, how the lockdown has been affecting people's income and living. I mean, if you can't earn, if you can't work, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you've got no life then, have you?
No, I mean, you speak from the heart, which is obvious and will be obvious to the viewers. And I think you're absolutely right, mate. Just a quick question, an adult question. You mentioned men's suicide. Are you a big advocate of men's mental health? Because it's something we've been talking about in the football community lately. I'm
absolutely, mate. I'm quite passionate about it. I mean, there's a song, kind of one of my own songs that I wrote about personal experience of myself, mate. I've dealt with mental health issues. I've suffered with anxiety and depression in my life. I've lost a couple of friends to suicide, mate. I found one of my very best friends many years ago that had killed himself, and me and another friend actually found him after being dead for a few days, mate. So I'll never forget that.
No.
It's recently where I live. There's been some, the last couple of years. There's been some, big, strong men, hard men. For whatever reason, mate. Maybe I'll never know. No, it just needs to be talked about a lot more, mate. And women. It's not just men. It really isn't. It's right across the board. It's but mental health, and I think that's one of the things why I've kind of stayed on Twitter, because I found a lot of friends, some music friends, acting for, and just general everyday people who I've just kind of bonded with. And there's a kind of everyone seems to be looking out for each other a little bit, Matthew, which is a nice thing. Do you know what I mean? And I haven't got any problems talking about anything at all. I don't think we should. I really don't think we should.
No.
And I think it's come to the fore the last couple of years. It's certainly come to the fore. It really has. And
I mean, there's
fair play to you, mate, for making awareness of it and stuff, Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more going on because the football fan scene is quite macho, and we're actually now urging people, if you've got problems, come and talk about it. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you an idiot or a muppet. If you've got problems, go and speak to someone, go and speak to your pal. If not, there are people out there that will listen. And that's what we're trying to get out there.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, it's recently just been the anniversary of Gary Speed, hasn't it? 10 years, you know what I mean?
Well, there you go.
And even 10 years ago, it was a lot more of a stigma, wasn't it? But thankfully, I mean, even where I live now, there's an Andy Man's Club, I think it's called, that's going around, which is just guys, you know what I mean, just meeting up once a week and stuff, and that's kind of growing. So if more and more things are opening up and becoming available, it just shows there's obviously a need for it, isn't there?
Yeah, and like you said, the stigma is starting to be dropped. Which is what we need. Which hopefully that will save lives if you just go and talk to someone. Okay, Stuart, it's been really fascinating to talk to you, not only about Deadman Shoes, but all the other stuff you've done, the Adidas trainers, your music, and also ending up on the men's mental health, which I think is so important. Okay, so that was Stuart Wolfenden. You can catch him on Twitter. Just remind us of your Twitter handle.
I've got two. I've got one, Stu Natives, which is for the music, and I think it's just at Stuart Wolfenden. Yeah, my normal Twitter page, mate.
That's Stu from Walden. So if you go to Twitter, you can catch him on there, and also the other one for the music. Okay, thanks, Stuart. So that was Stuart Wolfenden, as you will know him from Herbie in it from Deadman Shoes. And there'll be more videos coming from UKcasuals soon.
Cheers, mate.
There's a problem. What are we going to do? Kill the geezers? Yeah. Any volunteers? 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4.
Want to come for a swim, Frankie?
Any good? Get rid of all that Spanishified shit. I want red, black and chrome everywhere. Oh! I think that was out, Charles.
Sammy, it was in.
Sammy, it was in! I'm not playing no more, Charlie. And you? Who killed the radio star? Let me finish. Oh.